how Ohtani happened.
And in a one-run game, the dream matchup.
It's easy to
Ohtani
see why
Shohei
someone might
versus
call this
Michael.
a dream matchup. It's the final out of the 2023 World Baseball Classic between the two best baseball countries, the USA, who invented baseball, and Japan, whose own baseball culture has thrived for more than a century.
Yes.
One ball, no strikes.
Sweeper
It's
below.
also a matchup between the two best players, Mike Trout, one of the best American hitters ever, and Shohei Ohtani, the best Japanese pitcher ever, the best Japanese hitter ever,
Oh,
and some
aura.
say the best baseball player ever.
The
one-oh
GOAT.
pitch.
The greatest of all
Swing
time.
and a miss. A fastball at 100.
The greatest of
But
all
I think this is
time.
more than a dream matchup between two great teams,
2-1. 2-2.
or even two
Oh.
great players.
The count goes full.
It's the moment baseball's past met baseball's future,
Ohtani's ready. Trout's ready. 3-2.
and the future won.
He's
Oh, yes!
Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
The at-bat symbolized the passing of the torch from baseball being America's pastime to baseball being a global game.
Yes.
This is the story of how Japan produced
Yes.
the best baseball player ever, and how he's paving the way to baseball's future.
How Ohtani happened. It's showtime in Los Angeles.
For many years, the American pastime has been the Japanese pastime.
Americans introduced baseball to Japan around the 1870s, so it's no surprise that American and Japanese baseball share a lot in common.
1870s?
First and foremost,
Dude.
it's an obsession.
Yes.
Here's a stadium packed for Japan's high school baseball tournament, 1920. Shinto priests
1920.
blessing home plate, opening day, 1931. And Babe Ruth, swarmed by fans in Tokyo, 1934. The U.S. crushed Japan in World War II, but baseball helped the two countries become allies soon after.
This isn't big league stuff yet, but someday it may be.
Yes.
Japan's
Precisely.
Nippon Professional Baseball League was
Nippon.
structured a lot like the U.S.'s Major League Baseball. Teams were divided into two leagues, and some even shared the same name. But the two leagues didn't always see eye to eye. In the mid-20th century, American teams often looked down on Japanese talent. And while some American players played in Japan, they typically were near retirement. Meanwhile, Japanese players were often pressured to stay in Japan.
Part of it was
Japan famous sports is yes. Their most famous sport is baseball. Yes.
wanting to like maintain Japanese culture and pride.
Jun Lee's been reporting on baseball for a decade. He was on ESPN. Now he runs one of my favorite YouTube channels.
It is swung on and foul tipped by Lee.
This was kind of where Japan was like politically over the course of like a lot of the 20th century, which was culture that was very inward focused.
It all came to a head over this guy, pitcher Masanori Murakami. In 1964, the Nankai Hawks sent him to the San Francisco Giants minor league
Yes.
team, just
He
for
made a
some
couple of appearances. Was it last year for the 2025 season? Definitely for the 2024 season.
experience. But
Paved the
Murakami
way
impressed the Giants,
for
who started
the
him
future.
under Major League squad. Murakami became Major League Baseball's first Japanese-born player and dominated the rest of the season. But when the Giants gave him a contract, the Hawks objected. The two leagues argued for months until reaching a compromise. Murakami would play with the Giants for one season, then return to Japan. And from then on, MLB teams were prohibited from directly signing Japanese players, and vice versa. It widened the gulf between the two leagues. American players continued to go to Japan, but no Japanese player appeared in Major League Baseball for the next 30 years. They stayed in Japan
30
and
years.
developed a distinct style of playing.
Very quickly, I wanna
Contact
show you something
baseball, split finger, a lot of off-speed pitches.
pretty cool. Machinists at
But nowadays, it's kind of the vice versa. You see a lot of fastballs and like split fingers.
Henson started out making aerospace machinery, parts for the Mars rover and International Space Station. Then they went off to find a fix for a more everyday problem, shaving. And the result
That was such a seamless transition, dude. I gotta give you props for that.
now I'll take you back to the episode.
Japanese people are built differently than American people, and so they have adapted the Japanese game to kind of suit the physical strengths and weaknesses that Japanese
Two
people
seam
have. And
or
as a
sinker?
result, stylistically, the game is very different than what you would see in the United States.
Great American batters have power, they swing for the fences.
Yep.
While great Japanese batters have consistency.
Hit for
They hit
contact.
more singles,
Get
doubles,
on base.
even bunts to get on base. Great American pitchers rely on velocity, throwing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs past batters. While Japanese pitchers rely more on craftiness, throwing forkballs, splitters, and sinkers to fool.
Well, now it's the vice versa. Like I said, there's a lot of NPB players and even young players throwing near 100 miles per hour. Perfect example. He's on the Dodgers now, Sasaki Roki. 100 to 102 mile per hour fastball and a fork or split finger that goes 89 and tumbles. It's almost a knuckleball. Japanese professional players and analysts who doubted Shohei's talent or two-way potential got totally embarrassed and became a laughingstock. Yes, precisely. I think, what's his face? Yeah, just a bunch of people saying that it's not going to work out and he'll just become a pitcher.
And baseball players are also known to train far more often and with far more intensity.
Japanese players, from what I understand, in high school, correct me if I'm wrong, when they're not in school and it's like summer break, they're training 15 hours a day. They literally live and breathe baseball. There is a lot of conditioning that goes into baseball here in the U.S. I know that because, I played for the football team and I'd always see the baseball team. They're literally just running all the time. And also I had people that I knew on the baseball team. So over here, a lot of conditioning, but they don't live and breathe baseball. You train for probably 2.5 to 3 hours a day. You're off on the weekends or doing homework, whatever it is.
This is just kind of the culture around the sport, that the repetition builds strength. It requires this intense level of discipline.
Still, many Americans doubted Japanese players would succeed in the U.S. if they could ever get there. Then in 1995, pitcher Hideo Nomo found
Hideo Nomo, Dodger legend.
a loophole. The Kintetsu Buffaloes owned his contract, but Nomo simply retired at age 26. Legally a retired player.
He's so smart!
Anywhere, so Nomo went to the LA Dodgers.
Japan's baseball training style sucks? Why? Explain.
Flummoxed American batters, and he went on to win Rookie of the Year and start the All-Star game.
Waved at and missed. And down goes Martinez.
Hideo Nomo.
And down goes Bell. And who would have figured Hideo Nomo, last year pitching in Japan.
Nomo also got more Japanese.
Practice sessions in Japan are unnecessarily long. There's a lot of team practice and too much time is spent just standing around. Oh, I see. So you'd rather shorter practices but more efficient, where you're just practicing for like 2.5 to 3 hours instead of, training 8 hours a day, and it's just unnecessary essentially.
Fans to start paying attention.
I just pulled out my cord.
In Japan.
Nomo also got more Japanese fans to start paying attention to American baseball. But his
Nice.
loophole made NPB owners worried their best players would leave. So in 1998, it made a new system where a Japanese team could do what's called posting a player to allow MLB
Which is
teams
still
to
in
bid on
effect
him.
today.
Then the Japanese team could send him in exchange for a fee. Finally, a pipeline existed between the two best baseball leagues.
Yes.
And over the next 20 years, a steady stream of talented pitchers and hitters developed
I think the KBO also operates like this.
in Japan, then went to the US, where they won awards and
Ichiro!
broke records and made the Hall of Fame, all along proving that the Japanese style could thrive in the US.
Ichiro
Yes.
is kind of the ultimate manifestation.
And also, look how long Ichiro's career was. Dude, he was like 42 years old, still in the league. And he still goes to the Mariner Stadium to train with the players during the regular season, bro. At 50, he's like 52? So the playing style gives you longevity, less injury, You're not playing so hard, you're not destroying your body.
Of this, where he hit often less than 10 home runs a year, but he would get 300 hits in a season. I think they completely changed the perception of what
That's
was
crazy. He had like 300 hits in a season. Shohei, just to give you reference, Shohei had, I think, 174 or 176. Correct me if I'm wrong, future me, this season.
possible.
Or technically last year. 2025 season.
If we brought over Japanese players to the United States.
But Shohei Ohtani was different.
Ohtani Shohei.
He threw nearly 100 miles an hour.
We've been scouting him since he was 9. I thought that was the most aura I've ever heard. 160 kilometers an hour in high school. And he was a two-way player. Stupid mother who thought this wouldn't work in the MLB? Are you high? Bro!
Home runs, and he was only in high school.
I first heard of Shohei Ohtani when he was 16 years old because I'm a baseball sicko and I was following what was happening in
I wish
the
I
Japanese
was
baseball
paying
tournament
attention back
Koshien.
then, but I was, wait, when he was 16, that was 14 years ago. Never mind.
The century-old
possible.
tournament is watched by millions in Japan. And in 2012, everyone was watching Ohtani.
Dotted bottom
including
left
Major League
corner.
teams.
160 kilometer.
Unlike any player that had ever come out of Japan,
The Yankees, Red Sox, Rangers, and Dodgers wanted
And he's a
Ohtani to skip
kid
the
right
NPB
there.
entirely and sign directly with them as a pitcher. Ohtani wanted that too. In 2012, he warned NPB teams not to draft him, but the Nippon Ham Fighters did anyway. It put Ohtani in a unique position. He could refuse to play for the Fighters or use his leverage to pressure them into letting him do something no American team ever would. Two-way players are a thing of the past. That's someone who's both
Man, imagine, yeah.
a
I'll
pitcher
let
and a
this.
position player, like Babe Ruth. But since the 1940s, no one in the major leagues really pulled it off. And today, no one's really allowed to try.
being a pitcher and a batter is like playing two completely different sports. They
Yep.
require two completely different skill sets, two completely different approaches, and
For the people who don't watch baseball and watch American football, it's like Patrick Mahomes is also a linebacker. Patrick Mahomes has a 6-minute drive, gets a touchdown, and then immediately goes back on the field to become a middle linebacker.
that wear and tear really, really adds up. A major league team, if they had gotten Ohtani at 18 years old, would have just forced him to become a pitcher.
But the Fighters were more willing to let him try both. So Ohtani made the fateful decision to stay in Japan.
If Ohtani had grown up in Arkansas, he doesn't become the player that he is. He was this massive power hitter. There's a video of him hitting a baseball into
Through Tokyo Dome. Also, I didn't watch this game. Was this counted as a home run, or was it just like a ground rule double?
the roof of the Tokyo Dome. And the fact that he was also doing it while being one of the best pitchers in NPB was kind of blowing everyone's mind.
But after 5 years in
They counted it as a home run? Awesome.
Japan, Ohtani still faced doubts in the U.S. So in 2017,
That mother too scared.
Fighters posted him.
Oh, by the way, there's a two-way player in the minor league system for the the Las Vegas Athletics.
Ohtani turned
Japanese player. He's a kid, though. He didn't go to the MPB. He went straight to the MLB.
down bids from big market teams and instead went to the LA Angels, where he again used his leverage to be a two-way player.
Yes.
In his first at-bat in LA, Ohtani did this.
Out toward right center field. Gone! Big fly,
Ohtani-san.
In 2021, he hit 46 home runs and went 9-2 on the mound, becoming the first player to be an all-star. As
He
a
basically did what Yoshi did and what Aaron Judge did at this time. I don't think Aaron Judge had 50 home runs.
hitter and a pitcher. Ohtani was fast becoming the most exciting player baseball had seen in decades.
Nah, well, the most aura moment was when he was the starting pitcher at the All-Star games in 2022 and the leadoff. Just...
And by 2024, he didn't need leverage anymore. The LA Dodgers signed him for $700 million. Nearly double the next highest contract because he really was two players in one.
Yep.
Actually, he was the two best players in one.
Yep.
Wins above replacement measures a player's total value, and in the last 5 years, Ohtani has the highest in the majors. And just last week, Ohtani played probably the greatest game in baseball history.
3 home
He struck
runs,
out 10 batters and gave up only
10
2 hits
strikeouts,
over
6
innings,
shutout innings.
and hit not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs to send the Dodgers to the World Series. Ohtani's a new kind of baseball player, mixing American
got
style
walked
power
as well.
and Japanese style consistency on both sides of the ball. But he only got the chance to do it because he started playing baseball in Japan.
Imagine he didn't go to the Nippon Fighters and he went straight to the MLB. He'd probably be a Cy Young winner, not just caliber. He probably would have won multiple Cy Youngs by now, but you wouldn't be getting Shohei in his final form, in his finest form. Just, wow. Two-way players are going to start to be a thing. Shohei is paving a way for future players.
Shohei Ohtani is America's impact reimagined and then repackaged back to itself.
Yes.
Now Ohtani's bringing the two best baseball leagues closer together than ever.
Yep.
Impossible theater. And in a one-run game, the dream matchup.
Now, why was this moment so important? It's because it was the first moment that Japanese baseball...
Also, the reason why he's not doing this year is because he got Tommy John the same year he did this.
and American baseball shared...
He himself said, nope, not pitching.
In the U.S.,
just
it was
DH.
the most watched WBC game ever. But in Japan, 42% of households...
61 million
even though it was 8 in
people
the
watched
morning.
this game
In
at 8 in the
2025,
morning!
MLB saw higher viewership across U.S. TV and a 20% increase on Japanese TV, making it the most watched season ever there. Ohtani's also getting more Japanese fans to come to Major League
Bro,
games.
why didn't we see any of this? Is from the 2024 World Series championship. Why didn't I wanted to see more reactions in Japan from the 2025 World Series championship. I didn't see, I barely saw anything. It was just some some tourists were watching the game in like a bar in Japan. But yeah, we didn't see any of these reactions, bro.
When I asked June to come on this episode, he texted back from Dodger Stadium, where he saw scores of Ohtani fans, Ohtani jerseys in English and Japanese beer, and a giant homage to Ohtani on a Japanese-themed hotel. This is just the beginning for MLB.
Absolutely beautiful.
I had a conversation with an executive over Major League Baseball, and they said that Shohei Ohtani was their entire international growth strategy. They view Shohei Ohtani as their Messi and Ronaldo figure, the type of person who almost becomes bigger than the sport to get people in the door, to care and invest emotionally in it.
Ohtani may even give MLB an edge over its competitors.
Yep, the World Series, and this was right before the World Series, maybe during, the World Series had more viewership than the NBA Finals did. Did you watch the Brewers fans' reaction video? I think so, yes. I think so.
U.S. sports leagues
It was funny. They were laughing when he hit his third home run. They're like, ow. He's not a real person. Like, they just accepted their fate, bruh.
racing to become global leagues. The NFL is playing games in Europe and South America. The NBA is in Asia, hosting a league in Africa.
Well, this year we're not doing any exhibition stuff because the WBC is right before the MLB season, starting in early March. I think March 4th is when it starts. But Japan and Mexico and the US don't play until the 6th, and it ends on March 17th. Then the MLB season starts on the 26th.
Thinking about creating a league in Europe. They're competing to win over new fans in other countries. But nothing wins over fans in another country like a superstar from that country.
The lesson from Ohtani is that sometimes that means letting a player do something different.
Because Ohtani is an Ohtani if he's not a two-way player.
Exactly.
And he's not a two-way player if he doesn't play first in Japan.
He would have just been Shohei, the great pitcher, you know?
He doesn't play first in Japan if not
the
for
greatest of all
generations
time.
of players who perfected baseball. The Japanese way.
America invented baseball, but it has been elevated by someone who is not from the United States. He breaks all of the unwritten rules of what people thought was possible for someone to accomplish.
I love how passionate Japan is about baseball. I wish the US was the same, because baseball, it truly is the greatest sport ever. I'd rather watch baseball than I'd watch American football and basketball, truly.
As a baseball player.
And Shohei's on my team, amongst other stars.
Okay,